Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Angel Rivera, the handsome Cynic, and I'm live a couple minutes early. I'm live a couple minutes early. I just wanted to share the stream out real quick. So I hope everyone has a great day and etc. etc. So let's see here. I'm going to start at 2 o'clock on the dot, but I do want to share the stream out. So before I actually start, okay, what's this? No. So give me a minute to share the stream out and then we'll start. And I'll start. I'll be on until around 4 o'clock. So I hope everyone has been having a good day so far, and let me just share the stream out real quick. Give me 1 second, close that up. So, it's 1:59. Wait another minute to start up. Let me share out the stream real quick. Bear with me 1 second. Here we go. I'm live now. Link. All right. The stream is shared out. It's 2 o'clock on the dot, so let's do this. How's everyone today? Hope everyone's having a good day so far. I'm live today at 2 o'clock, and I'm probably going to go live more often at this time, around 2 o'clock, so I hope you guys will join me. It won't be every day. It'll probably be, if I had to guess, 3 to 4 days a week, maybe two days some week. It depends of how busy I am, and it depends of a lot of other factors. So let me turn on the chat overlay because that'll work. So all right, so the first story I'm gonna cover today is my favorite YouTuber, the wannabe 1999 Eminem style haircut, or 1990s boy band ripoff, Kyle Kulinski. Now, if you guys follow me or follow my channel, you know that I've been covering Kyle's obsession with Marianne Williamson and his insistence that Marianne Williamson will be the next president of the United States and she can win a nomination. And his coverage has gotten much more maniacal as of late. Like he's losing his mind over the fact that most of the left wing take her seriously, and the corporate media doesn't take her seriously, even though no one should take her seriously because she's a self-help love guru joke. But I'm gonna play this. Let me make myself. Let me do this. Hold on. Bear with me 1 second here. That's fine. Which one's better? No, that's terrible. All right, that'll work. That's good enough. So I'm gonna put this full screen. I'm not gonna play this whole thing, or at least I don't think I am. We'll see. But yeah, here's Kyle. This video this is from yesterday, I believe, and he made another one earlier today, which I want to play some of, where he's once again defending Marianne Williamson, his heroic politician. Yeah, he's treating her like she's some kind of hero. So let's check this out, and I'll stop it and give my commentary throughout the way, like I usually do.
Even though I'm an opinionated guy, to be as objective and fact-driven as possible on this channel. So for example, when somebody who I don't like like Joe Biden, for example, does something good, I have to come out here and say, you know what? I agree on that one. Like,
Wait. Did he say what I think he just said? Hold on a second. That he doesn't like Joe Biden? This motherfucker spent 2 years sucking up to Joe Biden. Everything he did was good. I'm a Biden bro now, guys. I'm proud of that. He's defended nearly everything this administration has done. And now he turns around and says, oh, I don't like Joe Biden. Not really. So either he's lying or he's telling the truth. And if he's telling the truth, that means he's been lying to his audience for nearly 2 years now, that he pretends to like Joe Biden, that what he really doesn't. So I don't know which one's worse, but both of them are just as bad in my opinion.
Since when he pulled out of Afghanistan, everybody in the media was melting. Oh my God, don't do this. The implication was go back in, like don't leave. No.
Here's the thing: the Afghanistan withdrawal was a disaster. It was like when we pulled out of Vietnam and we had to run away with our tail stuck between the legs from Vietnam. Same thing happened here in Afghanistan. So that was the issue I had with it: the fact that we were humiliated on the way out. We are the United States of America. We're an empire. We were humiliated by a bunch of ragtag people in the Taliban. So and Kyle defended that. So let's keep going.
Out is good. But no matter when you rip that Band-Aid off, it was going to be messy. So get it over with now, because, we shouldn't be there any day longer than we have to, which, really shouldn't have gone in there in the first place, right? You want to take out Osama bin Laden in some special mission, that's fine. But to wage the war, no. So, or, the attempt to reduce student loan debt. It's not perfect. I would have liked all the student loan debt gone, but he tried to reduce some of it. Okay, credit. You have
no credit, Kyle. No credit at all. Here's the reason why. Because he could have used the Higher Education Act to get rid of all the student loan debt, because most of the student loan debt is owned by the government. Some of it is owned by private banks, which you cannot forgive because it's not the government's debt. But most of it is government debt, which means that if you use the Higher Education Act, you could probably get past the Supreme Court. You could forgive most student loan debt. Instead, it decided to use the HEROES Act, which was an act specifically designed for veterans. Veterans. So most Americans are not veterans. So how the hell did Biden think he can get away with that? The Supreme Court going to strike it down most likely. And it's the Biden administration's fault, and they did it on purpose, because ultimately they don't want to forgive student loan debt. So they used the wrong law on purpose in order for the Supreme Court to strike it down, which they probably will. Excuse me. Let's keep going.
Be honest. You have to put the facts first. Now, I will say, though, even though I strive as much as I can to be objective.
Thanks for the... Stiff upper lips MC says Kyle looks like a twat with that peroxide hair. To me, he looks like a 1999 ripoff Eminem or 1990s ripoff of a boy band. He's a frustrated boy band member from the 90s. That's what he looks like to me. Thanks for the comment. I like that.
Effective and tell you guys the truth, even if Trump does.
Hey, you don't tell the truth. You're a partisan hack little Democrat who you want to suck up to your little girlfriend, so she'll marry you. She'll marry you, have access to a multi-million-dollar fortune, which she got because she married well herself. So you want to marry well just like she did. So piss off about how, I want to tell you guys the truth.
Hey, he did something okay in this area. I'll tell you. On a personal level, I cannot adequately describe to you how much I hate all of these people. How much I despise all of these people. Even the nominal allies who, 85% of the time, the way they vote, I'm like, yeah, I would vote the same way. On a personal level, I despise all of these people. So here's a good example why, right? MSNBC clip. We're going to be talking about Marianne Williamson.
Kyle gets butthurt here by MSNBC stopping or crapping over Marianne Williamson again. He's Eminem raised in Beverly Hills instead of Detroit. Oh, that's definitely what's going on there. Hey, what's up, Diggs BTW7? Thanks for the comment. All right, now let's keep going here. Kyle gets butthurt. He's going to get butthurt here because MSNBC attacks Marianne Williamson again. But let's see how butthurt he gets here.
And I'll let them take it over from here, and you'll see why I'm upset.
Democrats are putting on a united front to support President Joe Biden for a likely re-election bid. Despite questions about his age and his approval ratings in the low 40s, House Democrats agreed they're sticking with Biden during their annual retreat last week in Baltimore. The gathering included both progressives and moderates, along with leadership and rank-and-file members. Biden is already the oldest president in history at the age of 80. And if he runs and wins re-election next year, he would be 86 at the end of his second term.
Yes,
the president said he intends to run for that second term, but has not officially announced his candidacy. An official announcement is slated for the months ahead. Aides have been looking toward...
What is it with Kyle smoking that those electronic cigarettes? He might as well smoke a regular cigarette. It's safer than those electronic shits. It's ridiculous. I hate that. Or smoke some weed. I don't. You could smoke some weed on the air. I mean, honestly. I mean, other commentators do it. It doesn't matter. I don't know why he's smoking those electronic cigarettes. Well, that's just a pet peeve of mine. So I digress. Let's keep going.
Towards April, though there's some recent chatter that it may slip later into the year. For more on that, I'm joined by congressional reporter for The Hill, Michael Schnell. Michael, great to see you this morning. So you were talking to House Democrats who have made it clear that they're coalescing behind President Biden, and we're going to set aside Marianne.
Look at how angry he is. You could tell in his face. Like, he's like, "Come on, let me make myself bigger." Like, he looks like look at how angry he looks there. It's like it's unbelievable to me how much he in love with these politicians. Let's keep going.
Marianne Williamson. And at the moment, anyway, Biden seems to be unchallenged for the nomination. But
first of all, I love that point. We're going to set aside the challenger and say Biden's unchallenged.
Yeah, I agree. All smoking is bad, but especially these vapes, they're dangerous. I mean, they might as well smoke a regular cigarette because that isn't as bad as vaping. Right? But let's keep going. Let me show you how butthurt Kyle is about this.
Unchallenged. Wait, you're supposed to be the news.
Let me go back a little bit.
First of all, I love that point. We're going to set aside the challenger and say Biden's unchallenged.
Marianne Williamson isn't a challenger. What are you talking about? She's not a challenger. She's not even close to being a challenger. But she's just a joke. MSNBC, for the first time ever, is right to treat somebody as a joke. He's a joke. She's running. Why is she even running? Nobody really asked her, at least that I've seen. Nobody asked her why she's running. Because she's not going to get any policy passed. I mean, she's just a self-help love guru, yogi, whatever you want to call her. That's what she is. Like, what makes people think she's a serious candidate? I'll never know. Unless you're Kyle, your personal friends in Marianne Williamson. Hey, Indy. Thanks for joining me for a bit here.
Wait, you're supposed to be the news. By no definition is that unchallenged. It might be challenged by somebody who you don't think has a good shot. Fair. But you didn't say that. You said, putting aside the challenger, he's unchallenged.
Deeper for us. How united are these Democrats really behind Biden? What are their concerns?
That's exactly right, Jonathan. House Democrats at their annual retreat in Baltimore last week. They met there in Baltimore, and there was one clear theme throughout.
Yeah, I know.
One of many clear themes.
I know I could turn off the comments. It's just that I want to see them, I mean, for now at least, because if I do that, I know how to do that. Thanks, Indy, but, for now it's fine like that.
That 3-day retreat was Biden 2024. House Democrats from all ends of their very diverse, politically diverse spectrum through their support behind a Biden re-election campaign. And I'm talking about the Senate.
Yes, please like the stream. Indy's right. It's very important. That'll help out the stream. Wherever you're watching at, please give me a like. I greatly appreciate it. It helps with the algorithm. It helps get me out there more, which I want. So I appreciate any likes in advance.
New Democratic Coalition, members of leadership, and also members of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. Chairwoman Pramila Jayapal, who I will note, through her support behind Bernie Sanders in the 2020 presidential primary, she said that she would like to see President Biden announce his campaign sooner rather than later, really underscoring the support for Biden among House Democrats.
Look how butthurt he is. You see his face? He's like, hold on. Let me see if I can copy this. I can't copy it. But look how butthurt he is. He's like, oh yeah, Jayapal's a snake. I mean, I totally agree, but Kyle loves her until now, of course, because Jayapal is endorsing Biden over his his pet candidate, Marianne Williamson. So how dare she not endorse his friend? So let's keep going. Let's keep a little bit more of this.
The Congressional Progressive Caucus. It's being reported they're already all in for Joe Biden.
No shit. He's a sitting president. He's a sitting president of his party, of the party. What do you expect them to do? Oh, endorse Marianne Williamson and piss off the party bosses? The Progressive Caucus never do that. The Squad wouldn't do that. None of them would do that. It's not even close. They would never do that.
They know Marianne's running. They understand that. They know that, in theory, on paper, the things Marianne supports is much closer to what they say they support. But they're all in for Joe Biden. Let me ask you a question. Why? Why do you think that is? Why? Look, here's the reality. For the best of them, the reason why they support Biden is we think he's inevitable. So, we want to make some change in the direction that we prefer. And the way to do that is to play the game, back the guy who we know is going to win, and hope.
No, they're not. Kyle knows. He doesn't know. I mean, or he does know, but he's covering up for them because he loves them. Ultimately, he doesn't want to lose access to them. Ironically, because Kyle's one of these people who whines and complains about how legacy media, access journalism. Meanwhile, he does access journalism with Marianne Williamson. It's like he doesn't want to end the Squad. He would love to have the Squad on Crystal Kyle and Friends. Trust me, he would love to have AOC or Rashida Tlaib or Ilhan Omar or the black dude, I forget his name right now, and or Ayanna Presley, whatever the black dude's name is, I forget right now. But he would love to have him on his show with his little girlfriend Crystal Ball.
Hope that it's tit for tat. I support you, so he'll do favors for me. Those favors for me could mean some things I prefer, whatever, childcare, name it, fill in the blank with whatever their particular pet policy issue is. That is, if I'm being incredibly kind, that explanation. For only the best of these people, only the most selfless of these people, is that a possibility. Hey, we think he's inevitable, and in our estimation, he's done an okay job. So
Jamal Bowman.
Snuggle up to the power now.
Jamal Bowman, thank you. Yeah, I mean that's the other one. Yeah, I lost track of his name. He's that's why I called him the black guy. I'm not trying to be racist, but he's black, so that's why I said the black guy. Thanks for that. Jamal Bowman is his name.
Do a little tit for tat. We'll support you, but then you have to, in turn do stuff for us in your second term. I'm being so kind by even throwing that out there as a potentiality. Is that a word? Potentiality? I don't know. Anyway.
Wait, what? Is another derailing in Alabama? Really? Wow. Excuse me. Wow. That just happened because I didn't know that. It must have just happened literally because I went live 20 minutes ago almost. Yeah, I didn't even see that. So, Jesus Christ, where's Pete Buttigieg? I bet he won't discuss this for a month. That's like the derailment in Ohio. But anyways, let's a little bit more of Kyle, and then I have another Kyle video I want to play, which was uploaded earlier this morning. He uploaded to his channel. So I won't subject you to too much more of Kyle Kulinski, but it's a little bit more of this one.
What are other reasons why they would do this? Careerist reasons. We think he's inevitable. So I'm going to snuggle up to him. I'm going to make a big show of it, and hopefully he will give me a little pat on the head. Excuse me. And I will be rewarded personally and professionally with the spot in the administration, or with his endorsement for my re-election, or whatever it might be, with his endorsement for me trying to level up when I run for Senate, or whatever, right? Like, that's probably most of them.
Yes, Kyle. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, buddy. They're all careerists in the Democratic Party. They don't care. What you think they care? No, they want to advance in their careers. Most of these politicians want the administration. They want the spot administration, or they want the important committee position. If you endorse Biden, you'll get that. You're very likely to get that if you end up endorsing Biden. This is the most Kyle I've watched in years. Yeah, I mean, the reason why I watch him, I like making fun of him, and I just like making fun of him. So and because he's not that bright. I mean, I remember 5 or 10 years ago, I was a big fan of his. Yes, I know I'm embarrassed by that, but I have to admit that because it's the truth. I was a big fan of his, and I thought he was the most intelligent guy on the planet. And he's so smart. He knows what he's talking about. No, I'm smarter than the fucker, and I didn't finish college. And I'm smarter than this guy. And he has a political science degree. His analysis is shallow. He just uses his pro-Democratic Party talking points. It's pathetic, and I can't believe I was a fan of this guy. So I'm done with this video. So now I want to play you the little bit of the one Kyle uploaded today before I move on to the next story. Let's see. Let's share this tab instead. This is a video with Kyle uploaded this morning. The title is Bernie Sanders. Marianne will run a strong campaign and raise important issues. Oh, God. Fucking Bernie. By the way, Bernie won't endorse Marianne Williamson. He's already endorsed Biden, which Kyle's going to be butthurt about that too. But, yeah, I mean, why? Bernie and Marianne Williamson. God. All right, I'm going to play this. I have. So, let's do this. Bear with me 1 second. All right.
So this is an interesting development, everybody.
At least we don't have to see Kyle in this one. It's just his voice, but
Bernardino Sandersington
what
has actually come out.
Did he just say Bernardino Sanderson? I don't know why he's trying to make his name more Hispanic, but okay, whatever.
Said some positive words when asked about Marianne Williamson. So a reporter for Business Insider says, I asked Senator Sanders and Warren, who both back Biden, about Marianne Williamson's progressive challenge. Bernie said, quote, I'm sure she's going to run a strong campaign and raise very important issues. And Warren said, quote, Biden is going to be the Democratic nominee. Okay, so they have a couple more quotes in here, not too many, but let's go through it, pick out all the gems. Independent Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont offered tepid praise on Tuesday for Marianne Williamson's 2024 presidential campaign, telling Insider at the Capitol that he expected her to raise very important issues during the campaign. Williamson, I hate how they just describe her as a self-help author. I don't think
that's because that's what she is. She's a self-help author, spiritual leader, and a yogi, isn't she? She's a self-help author, spiritual leader. And isn't it ironic that Kyle Kulinski claims to be an atheist, but he's supporting a candidate that's a spiritual leader? Isn't that weird? I mean, he's an atheist, isn't he? That's the whole point of his show, Secular Talk. I mean, he's anti-religion, anti-spirituality. But meanwhile, he's supporting a candidate who's spiritual, a spiritual leader. Jeez. Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about this. The San Bernardino snow that got 12 feet of snow and complete failure of institutional support systems. Yeah, I've heard about that. And another horrible tragedy there. And the government isn't doing very little to help those people. Of course. I mean, the administration could never actually help Americans. They're too busy helping Ukrainians and the Ukrainian Nazi war machine. So that's what they want to do. Let's keep going with Kyle here.
fully encapsulates her or is fair. Williamson, a self-help author, spiritual leader, and 2020 presidential candidate, is currently the only well-known Democrat to officially launch presidential campaign. President Joe Biden is widely expected to announce a re-election bid, but has yet to officially do so. Sanders has said he will support Biden if he seeks re-election, and told Insider on Tuesday that he doesn't want to speculate about Williamson's chances. So in other words, they tried to prod Bernie to be like, hey man, hey, come on, she doesn't have much of a chance, right? Right? That's what I get at.
Yes, that's exactly right. He has no chance, not much of a chance. Oops.
Out of that. And Bernie didn't take the bait. He said, look, I'm not going to speculate about her chances. But Williamson endorsed Sanders in 2020 after dropping out of the campaign, and he indicated a respect for her that other Democrats haven't shown. Quote, I know Marianne. I'm sure she's going to run a strong campaign and raise very important issues. Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts, by contrast, was firm in her support for Biden when asked about Williamson's campaign. I think that President Biden is going to be the Democratic nominee, and he's going to be reelected, said Warren, saying she supported Biden because he's accomplished a tremendous amount in the last 2 years, and he's got real momentum to keep on delivering for the American people.
Classic, he's a Democrat. These are Democrats. Of course they're going to endorse the president. I mean, I can't believe Kyle actually thinks that... I can't believe he thinks that these progressives are somehow going to endorse Williamson. His friend, by the way, Williamson. It's unbelievable how he really, in his head, thinks that they should endorse Williamson, no matter what. It's like, no, they're not going to. They're not goddamn going to. They would rather endorse Biden and go with the president and hope to God he wins so they can get favors from him once he gets his second term. That's what's going to happen. Jeez, Kyle. I mean, like, you can't be that out of touch. All right, so I'm done with Kyle. You know, he's just a fool. He's a wannabe political commentator when his commentary is shallow, and he's just a partisan hack, and he can go fuck himself. All right, now I'm going to move on to the next story here, which is I'm going to subject you guys to some Young Turks now. Yes, I'm not going to play... I was gonna. Let me try that again. I'm going to play some clips of 2 videos they uploaded yesterday. One of those videos is the Young Turks defending the officer who shot Ashley Babbitt on January 6th. Yes, I know, defending an officer for shooting an unarmed woman. I know, it's unbelievable. That's what they've done. That's what the Young Turks going to defend here. And another video, just a few minutes, where Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian are going to project their own feelings onto Tucker Carlson and their audience. So I'm not going to play the whole video of both of them, but there's some clips, I want to show you guys real quick. So, okay, this is the first clip. Here we go. So let's do that. Let's do that. All right, so here we go.
There were many mysteries we could not solve. Among them, unfortunately, is the shooting of Ashley Babbitt. From the evidence we have, the publicly available evidence, it seems clear that Babbitt was murdered by a Capitol Hill police officer called Michael Byrd. Ashley Babbitt was unarmed. She was shorter in stature than average. She posed no conceivable threat to anyone. But beyond that, we can only speculate about what happened. There were no security cameras near the speaker's lobby where Ashley Babbitt was killed.
In an effort to rewrite what actually occurred on January 6th, Tucker Carlson paints Capitol rioter Ashley Babbitt as an innocent and petite woman who was unjustly shot and killed by a Capitol police officer, even as a violent riot was taking place right before the shooting. Now, why don't we actually take a look at what the scene looked like? And then I'm gonna break apart Tucker Carlson's ridiculous, hypocritical argument. Let's.
I think I may have muted myself. Was he talking? I want to first of all, I want to discuss. Well, of course, that's the Young Turks talking about January 6th. Tucker Carlson did. They're not going to show any of these clips, by the way. The one with the this guy here, the shaman, the shaman, QAnon shaman, and this clip about Ray Epps, the guy who was trying to get, whoops, I think I messed up here. Bear with me 1 second. Sorry about that. I fucked up already, so here we go. And this guy, Ray Epps, the guy who decided to pressure the Trump supporters to go into the Capitol on January 6th. He did it multiple times. He's recorded multiple times. And I personally think, my opinion on Ray Epps, he's some kind of agent provocateur, trying to get these Trump supporters to go into the Capitol and riot. That's what Ray Epps says. The Young Turks are not going to discuss any of this. They're going to talk about Ashley Babbitt, and they're going to talk about some other nonsense that had nothing to do with what Tucker Carlson's point was. You can hate Tucker Carlson. That's fine. I have no problem with you guys hating Tucker Carlson. What I'm saying is this is just videotape he's showing. He's not He's, as far as I know, he's not manufacturing anything. This is his tape. And Democrats and liberals don't like that, which is why they're attacking him brutally on Twitter, and the Young Turks are making these videos. So let's go back to this video now and continue another minute or two of this, and I'm going to move on to later in the video.
Let's watch. Okay, so since Tucker Carlson had difficulty, investigating what happened to Ashley Babbitt, I'll help him out. You see an individual holding a gun. You hear the rioters say repeatedly, he's got a gun, he's got a gun, he's got a gun. And Ashley Babbitt decided to attempt to crawl through that, broken glass in the door to get to, I'm guessing, elected officials who they were targeting through.
All right, that's not a justification for shooting an unarmed woman. That just isn't. You can say all you want. Well, I mean, he was trying to get a. She was. They were violent, and then she was trying to get through. Which, by the way, I didn't see that on the tape at all. Let me go back. I missed that part where allegedly she was trying to. Where allegedly she was trying to mute. It doesn't matter. Let me mute this. You don't need to hear it. Where allegedly she was trying to get through the broken glass, which is why he shot. So let's see. Am I missing something? That's where the shots fired. Somebody goes down, and I assume that's Ashley Babbitt. And as far as I can see, I don't see her trying to get through that door. Maybe it's another angle where it shows that. But as far as I know, I don't see where Babbitt is trying to get through there, trying to get through that window. So there's really, even if she was, it's not justification to shoot an unarmed woman. I mean, she's unarmed, right? She's fucking unarmed. So I'm gonna let Anna go a little bit, then Jank is gonna jump in a little later in the video and defend the cop again who shoots Ashley Babbitt, unarmed woman. And then I'm going to explain the hypocrisy of TYT. If you guys been watching TYT, you already know where I'm going with this. But I'm gonna play the video a little bit longer. Let me mute my mic. Is there an echo, by the way, when I play videos? Because if there is, I'm going to have to mute my mic. I'm going to do it anyways, but let me know.
Investigating what happened to Ashley Babbitt, I'll help him out. You see an individual holding a gun. You hear the rioters say repeatedly, he's got a gun, he's got a gun, he's got a gun. And Ashley Babbitt decided to attempt to crawl through that, broken glass in the door to get to, I'm guessing, elected officials who they were targeting through this riot. So that's what happened, Tucker. Okay, I hope you understand now, since you can clearly see it with your own two eyes.
Yeah, by the way, he has all the tapes.
Of course.
It's not like he didn't see that. He did see.
He did. Tucker clearly said that there wasn't tape in Capitol Hill. That was a cell phone video. That was not tape from Capitol Hill. So there's no tape of Ashley Babbitt getting shot from Capitol Hill. That's a cell phone video. So I don't know what he's talking about when he says he has tape of that, because he doesn't. But let's keep going a little bit more. I want to. Oops.
And decided to lie about it anyway, because that's what he does. So did they look like peaceful sightseers that Tucker Carlson described yesterday? So last night he's like, oh yeah, they're just walking around, they're just sightseeing there, and they're very orderly and calm and peaceful. Is that what that tape looked like to you guys? Now, why did those people think that the door was barricaded? Why did they think that there was a police?
I'm going to skip ahead because this is part. I'm going to skip ahead where Jank actually defends on the cop that shot Ashley Babbitt, just like Anna did. So it's 5:56. I'm pretty sure. Let me bear with me 1 second while I check my notes on my phone, because I don't want to play something that's irrelevant towards my point. Yeah, 5:56. All right. Well, I was right. So let me mute my mic and I'll let Cenk pontificate Grant's.
A very, very violent crowd smashing the hell out of a barricaded door, chanting about how they're gonna murder the people inside. To say that that was not a threat is beyond insanity. Again, it insults your audience. You think your audience can't figure out anything at all. Every one of them is the least rational person you've ever met in your real life. You can't tell that that is a violent mob looking to do harm to the people inside. And remember, the cop isn't thinking if you come for me. And the cops did not fire when they broke down the initial barricades, when they entered the building. This is the very inner sanctum of Congress. There's nowhere left to run. And he's firing to protect the legislators that the mob is saying out loud that they are going to murder. I've never seen a more justifiable shooting in my life. But Kyle Rittenhouse had a plastic bag thrown at him.
Let me unmute myself first. All right, that's where Cenk brings up Kyle Rittenhouse. Nothing to do with this at all, nothing to do with Tucker Carlson's point, but he brings up Kyle Rittenhouse anyways, of course. Here's the hypocrisy. Let's reverse this situation for a second. Let's say if it was a white cop who shot an unarmed black woman, who's a Black Lives Matter protester, and the white cop decided to shoot the unarmed black protester. Excuse me. What would Cenk Uygur do? What would he do? I guarantee you, he would have a gigantic meltdown. Let's say rid of Cenk's face there. I guarantee you have a gigantic meltdown, as he usually does. One of his meltdowns where he sweats like a hog, and he looks like a heart attack any second or a stroke. And he's gonna talk about how black people are not angry enough, how they need to go on the streets more because an unarmed white cop or armed white cop shot an unarmed black woman. Instead, since the situation's reverse, Cenk's like, well, I mean, come on. I mean, obviously he had to shoot her, right? Shoot her dead. Because there was nowhere else to go, you know? I mean, come on, right? Shoot her dead because she's white. Excuse me. He's white, so she's white, so he had every right to shoot her. Even though she's unarmed and she's not doing anything to actually attack the cop, but it doesn't matter. You have every right to shoot her because she's a white girl. And, you know, I mean, the cop's black, so we have to defend the cop. And now in TYT, now we're pro-cop, no matter what. So hypocrisy all around by the Young Turks. But now we're going to get to another TYT video the same night. They decided to do this video. Hold on, a little bit more TYT, not much more, guys. I mean, I don't want to subject you guys to too much more. Let's get rid of that. Oops, it says the title of the video is Tucker Carlson responds to CPAC, attacks by rewriting January 6th history. As if you look at the chyron there, it says Tucker rewrites January 6th narrative with cherry-picked footage. I think that's what it says. And let me get rid of myself here. Yeah, cherry-picked footage. That's what it says. With cherry-picked footage. Isn't that ironic? Because as we all know, the January 6th Commission and the corporate media and the Young Turks decided to cherry-pick their own footage in order to justify their own narrative. But that doesn't matter. They're allowed to cherry-pick footage. The Young Turks are allowed to cherry-pick footage, and the January 6th Committee, whatever they want to call themselves, they're allowed to cherry-pick footage. Tucker Carlson does the same thing and shows other footage, and then they're outraged. Fake outrage, like, how dare you show this other footage which goes against our narrative, our corporate narrative, you know, that, oh, dare, right, the Trump supporters are the worst, and we're trying, blah, 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 you know, that bullshit. So, so let's play a little bit more of this. I'll mute my mic so there's no echo. So I'll be back with you guys in a second.
Narratives that we heard from the press are real, and let's just cut to the chase. He tried to lie, but he did so while showing footage that debunked his lies as he was telling it. Let me give you an example. Let's go to the first video.
The protesters were angry. They believed that the election they had just voted in had been unfairly conducted. They were right.
By the way, I'm not allowed to say anything about the 2020 election. I don't want to get any account banned or anything like that. So I'm going to move forward from this because I don't want even the chance of that. So that scared me for a second. Once I heard la la la, let's skip all this. I don't want to even have that on this channel or any of the channels I'm on right now live. So, all right, I think that's
that there
let me mute my mic.
is no such thing as the truth, and that his audience watches nothing else, knows nothing else, so he can brazenly lie to them, full well knowing that everyone has the quotes from the lawsuit where we're positive that Tucker Carlson thinks the election was not stolen. He clearly states that over and over again.
I'm gonna move forward some more because I don't want to even discuss what happened then. Where is that part? Hold on, here we go. I think this is it. Let me see something.
In a lot of ways, directing our anger and our wrath and our laws against these guys, while justified for the crimes that they committed, is...
No, it's Jank. He definitely, here we go. This, I'm trying to find, this, I'm pretty sure this is the part where Jank, he's going to project here his feelings towards his audience, to Tucker Carlson's feeling towards his audience. That's what part I'm trying to find here, which I'm having a hard time finding it. By the way, if you just got here, I appreciate you watching, but can you please give me a like the stream wherever you're at, so it'll help me with the algorithm. I appreciate that. I thank you in advance for liking the stream, but let's keep going I'm pretty sure this is the part I'm looking for.
He also has no respect for them.
No, he doesn't. He talks to them as if they're morons.
Yeah, it's number one, he thinks he doesn't respect them enough to tell them the truth and then adjust their expectations, opinions, etc., and his own to fit the facts rather than their preconceived opinions, right? But secondarily, even more devastatingly, he thinks these guys are a bunch of morons. They're never gonna figure out the truth. They're never gonna figure out that I'm brazenly lying to them, even though I'm on the record in a court case with definitive quotes where I know for a fact that it was not stolen and that they're a bunch of schmucks. But I'm gonna lie to them over and over and over again. Guys, every once in a while, people will criticize me saying, Cenk, you're too tough on right-wing voters.
You are, I think you are.
Okay, I'm not anywhere near as tough on right-wing voters as Tucker Carlson is.
Oh, that's a good point.
Tucker Carlson thinks they are the dregs of society, just the very bottom of the barrel, just the dumbest people in the whole wide world who couldn't see the truth, even if he puts it in video form right in front of them.
I wouldn't be surprised if he mocked them after that segment.
I guarantee you he had a belly laugh. And then this morning when he sees all of those moron right-wing pundits online going, oh yeah, they were just tourists and sightseers, man. Tucker proved it. He must have had another round of laughs. Look at all these, not only my viewers, but the so-called thought leaders on the right. All decrepitly evil or just so painfully stupid that they can't see straight. That's not my opinion. That's definitively Tucker Carlson's opinion. We know, every intelligent person knows what he actually thinks. It's on the goddamn record. Yep. He thinks there's not a single person in his audience that's intelligent enough to actually look up the reality. Amazing. Thanks for watching The Young.
That's projection. That's what I wanted to play. Cenk Uygur is projecting his feelings and Anna's feelings about their audience onto Tucker Carlson and his audience, his feelings about his audience. He has no evidence for that. Cenk is just speculating. But he says definitely Tucker hates his audience. Well, based on what? But he's projecting. Cenk hates his audience. Well, you think like they made up Russiagate for years. They Russiagated their audience, and the audience bought it. For years, I'm pretty sure Cenk had a good laugh about that. About how his audience are idiots. For years, they just made up stories, about how they just horrible reporting, lazy reporting, and their audience bought it. Hell, at one point, I even bought it. I'm an idiot. Like 10 years ago, and I was younger. I bought into their bullshit. So I know that Cenk knows he's lying. He has to. He can't be that stupid to pretend that, to buy it, to just say, oh, well, he can't be that stupid. There's no way. I go back and forth. There are times where I think he is stupid and he believes his own bullshit and he loves the smell of his farts. Excuse me. And there are other times where I think, no, he can't be this stupid. Like, nobody can be this stupid. But I go back and forth. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the chat. But he can't be that stupid. He can't be. All right. Well, I'm done with the Young Turks. But I have plenty of time. I'm going to talk about a few other things here with you guys. So I'm going to go on my Twitter account. I want to show you. By the way, follow me on Twitter. All right, let's get rid of. Bear me 1 second here while I set up properly. I should have set this up before, but I didn't. I'm sharing this. Maybe just bigger, so you guys actually see the shit. If I actually did this, then it'd be better. So follow me on Twitter, by the way. My since I'm here, I'm gonna do my shameless plugs on my Twitter. There it is right there, at AngelJRivera08. That's my main account. That's where I do most of my tweeting from. Follow my backup account, at TheBadGuyAR, because I occasionally get banned. Just in case I get banned on my main account, I'll be tweeting from my backup account. So make sure you follow both accounts if you haven't already. If you have, thank you. If you haven't, make sure you follow me. But now it's time, like, to get back to. There's something. There's oops. Where's my favorite? Where's my bookmarks? Here we go. I'm gonna get to that. No. Here we go. This is the Pussycat woman, I think. Nadia Tolomakovia. I butchered her name, but this is the woman who spent 20 plus months in Russian jail because she criticized for opposing the Russian president, Vladimir Putin. There's an irony here, which I'm going to point out to you guys. And there's an irony here. I want to discuss Julian Assange in this situation, but it's like a minute-long clip. I'm going to play it, then I'm going to discuss Julian Assange. Because there's no way Aaron Burnett would ever even mention Pussy Riot, not Pussy, whatever. I fucked up earlier. So it's Pussy Riots. Rick, all right, let me show. Thank you, Rick, for this comment. Cenk knows he's lying, but he does it so much at this point, he starts believing his own ideology and narratives he creates. He likes to smell his own farts. I mean, to be fair, I think you're right about that. He knows. I mean, he can't be that stupid. I mean, he's stupid, but he can't be that stupid to believe his own bullshit. So now I want to get back to. I'll play this real quick, then I'll discuss Julian Assange more. All right, so it's a minute-long clip. So this is the Pussy Riot girl who spent 20 months in jail because she criticized or allegedly criticized Vladimir Putin.
How bad is it being in prison in Russia? I mean, you sit here, you spent 21 months away from a child that you had, and you had to serve that time.
It's a pretty, it's really a hell on earth, especially when you're being moved to the penal colony, where you have to work by law. You have to work, and it's practically slave labor. Luckily, I was able to fight against the system, and years later, after I got out of jail, my prison boss, ex-prison boss, was sentenced for organizing a system of slave labor in a penal colony where I served my time. I was forced to sew police uniforms and military uniforms. So these days, people who oppose Putin and who say something against the war, they're being sent to colonies to produce military uniforms.
All right. So she spent 21 months in a Russian jail because allegedly she criticized Vladimir Putin. I don't know how true that is, and it doesn't really matter. That's not really the point. The point I want to make is I guarantee you Aaron Burnett wouldn't have on Julian Assange's wife, or she wouldn't have on Julian Assange's family to talk about the fact that she spent the last 10 years locked up, either at the Ecuadorian embassy or now Belmarsh prison, one of the most dangerous prisons in the world, one of the worst prisons in Europe. He's been locked up for nearly 10 years of his life. He had a stroke the last time we saw him publicly. And somehow she wants us to feel sorry for the Pussy Riot girl who spent 20 months in a Russian jail. Are you kidding me? I don't feel sorry for her. I feel sorry for Julian Assange for daring to practice journalism. That's why he spent the last 10 years locked up, either at the Ecuadorian jail or at the or not jail, but embassy or Belmarsh prison, which is one of the worst prisons in Europe, like I just said. So the idea that I'm supposed to feel bad for this Pussy Riot girl is beyond me. I don't. I feel bad for Julian Assange and his family, what they're going through, because he had the nerve to do journalism and expose the Obama administration's crimes. And on top of that, there's more hypocrisy here from liberal Democrats. I remember when I first heard of Julian Assange was 20 years ago when he was exposing Bush administration crimes, the Bush administration's military and their crimes. Democrats loved him then. Liberals loved him then. But now all of a sudden, as soon as he exposed Obama administration crimes, now he's like the worst person on the planet, and he's a piece of shit and needs to be destroyed. At one point, Hillary Clinton talking about bombing the Ecuadorian embassy in London in order to kill Assange. That's how nuts these motherfuckers are. And somehow I'm supposed to feel sorry for this Pussy Riot girl who's been 20 months in Russian jail, and she had to work. She had to work at I don't know what she did, but she had to work. Are you kidding me? I don't feel sorry for her one bit. I don't feel bad for her at all. Maybe I'm a bad guy. I don't know. I mean, you guys tell me, but I don't really feel sorry for her at all. So let's get rid of this. Move on to the next story here. Go back. I'll get to that one, but first I want to get to, here we go. This is a congressional hearing. Think about the Twitter files still. This is a Democrat. Her ranking member Plaskett. Leave me alone. Ranking member Plaskett. I'm not a so-called. This is Matt Taibbi. This woman is the ranking Democrat in this committee. She called these so-called journalists, all these journalists that decided to talk about Twitter files, or Elon Musk leaked the files to. And these people are now so-called journalists, according to this Democrat. Matt Taibbi is going to respond to this. And he's going to say, this is what he says, but I want to actually show you guys. So this is not a long clip, I don't think. It was actually 4 minutes long. I don't know when I play this whole thing, but I'll play a little bit of it.
Are going to tell the truth.
Let me start from the beginning, though.
The FTC has extraordinarily serious concerns about Twitter's handling of consumers' data, and that there's something going on between congressional Republicans and Elon Musk. Mr. Chairman, Americans can see through this. Musk is helping you out politically, and you're going out of your way to promote and protect him and to praise him for his work. This isn't just a matter of what data was given to these so-called journalists.
So-called journalists. You heard that? Matt Taibbi is going to respond to this. And let me get to response. I don't think it... Let me see. The rest of what she says really doesn't matter. I mean, bear with me 1 second on the internet issue. I don't know why it's not playing. I'm going to have to reload this. Bear with me 1 second. I mean... Oh. Oh, come on, play, damn you. Alright, I mean, I'm having internet issues, I guess. Jesus Christ, it's so annoying. Let me see if I can do it like this.
The C.
Okay, yeah, I think.
First question is in our report.
We're engaging in false. Your question time now?
No, And you don't want two journalists who have been named.
I've stolen an award for independent
Oh, here we
journalism.
go.
Time was spent at Chairman Jordan.
Is this your question time now?
No, I'm responding to your ridiculous statements you made in your opening statement.
Got her. Got her. But let's get to Matt Taibbi, though.
Well, let's get on with it.
Chairman Jordan.
To be fair, I'm going to play the whole thing because I don't want to take anything out of context. And
The FTC has extraordinarily serious concerns about Twitter's handling of consumers' data, and that there's something going on between congressional Republicans and Elon Musk. Mr. Chairman, Americans can see through this. Musk is helping you out politically, and you're going out of your way to promote and protect him and to praise him for his work. This isn't just a matter of what data was given to these so-called journalists before us now. There are many legitimate questions about where Musk got the financing to buy Twitter. We know this is because at the first hearing, the chairman claimed that big government and big
Elon Musk went to several banks to get the loans to buy Twitter. What's he talking about? There's questions about how Elon Musk could buy Twitter, was able to buy Twitter. He went to banks and got the money based on his wealth, his net worth. That's how he bought Twitter. There's no question how he bought Twitter. What's he talking about? Well, this keeps going.
and big tech colluded to shape and mold the narrative and suppress information and censor Americans. This is a false narrative. We're engaging in false narrative.
That's not a false narrative. Exactly what happened. Twitter, the original ownership of Twitter did censor. They did a ton of censoring of Americans and went against the Democratic Party narrative. That's what happened. Those are the facts. That's what happened. That's what the Twitter files showed. And that's what these hearings showed. Instead, she's trying to obfuscate. And they're like, no, it didn't happen. We didn't censor. They didn't censor. Trust us. Believe us. Even though we did censor. It doesn't matter. We didn't censor. We didn't censor.
Narratives here, and we are going to tell the truth. I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back. I would just point out the consent decree was in our report. We offered your staff also the opportunity to review the FTC letters. You have not come over to review those letters. Third, the idea that I believe both of these individuals who are getting ready to testify, I believe they're both Democrats. The idea that two journalists who happen to be Democrats—
Did you not give that offer at 8 o'clock last night?
Now. Your time was ended.
Neither of us are in time.
I don't think they're here to help us politically. I think they're here to tell us the truth. And oh, by the way, the first FTC letter to Twitter after the first set of Twitter files, the very first question was, who are the journalists you're talking to? And you guys don't care. You don't care.
You
don't
care
want
about
the
the
American
2011
people to see.
consent decree?
You don't want the American people to see what happened, the full video, transparency. You don't want that, and you don't want two journalists who have been named personally by the Biden administration, FTC, in a letter.
The Biden administration.
And you're saying
is
they're
not
here
the
to help us.
FTC.
They're here to tell their story. And frankly, I think they're—
The Biden administration runs the FTC. The Federal Trade Commission. What is she talking about? Like, oh, the FTC is the Biden administration. Of course it is.
brave individuals for being willing to come after they've been named in a letter from the Biden FTC.
Is this your question time now?
No, I'm responding to your ridiculous statements you made in your opening statement.
Okay,
Got
well,
her.
let's go on with it.
Chairman Jordan.
Got her. Now, this is Matt Taibbi, where he points out she actually disrespected Matt Taibbi. I mean, with he's a fantastic journalist, and she called him a so-called journalist. But let's keep.
Jordan, Ranking Member Plaskett, members of the Select Committee, thank you for having me today. My name is Matt Taibbi. I've been a reporter for 30 years and a staunch advocate of the First Amendment. Much of that time was spent at Rolling Stone magazine. Ranking Member Plaskett, I'm not a so-called journalist. I've won the National Magazine Award, the I.F. Stone Award for Independent Journalism, and I've written 10 books, including 4 New York Times bestsellers. I'm now the editor of the online magazine Racket on the independent platform Substack. I'm here today because of a series of events that began late last year when I received a note from a source online. It read, "Are you interested in doing a deep dive into what censorship and manipulation was going on at Twitter?" A week later, the first of what became known as the Twitter Files reports came out. To say these attracted intense public interest would be an understatement. My computer looked like.
Let me unmute myself first. Yeah. I mean, got her. Straight up just got her. You know, it's like, how dare she call Matt Taibbi just not a real journalist? I mean, to me, it's unbelievable how a so-called journalist, yeah, because she's reporting against our narrative, you know, that Twitter didn't censor and we need to do whatever we need to do to cut him off. No, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous and outrageous that she would do that. That she would call Matt Taibbi, of all people, a wannabe journalist. But I guarantee you, she wouldn't call Chuck Todd a wannabe journalist. She wouldn't call anyone at MSNBC a wannabe journalist. She wouldn't call anybody at CNN a wannabe journalist. You know, she wouldn't call any people that. Or Seymour Hersh, of course. I mean, she definitely would call him a wannabe journalist. Indy said, really, she's close to Jeffrey Epstein? I'm not surprised that was the case. And that is the case. I mean, that. The hell? Why do you keep bothering me? Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, I mean, the idea that Matt Taibbi is some kind of wannabe journalist is just outrageous. To me, at least. Yeah, she's a so-called congresswoman. That's a good one. Free wine bar. No, please keep typing. I like reading the chat. Could you guys bear with me 5 minutes? I really have to use the bathroom. I'll be back. Give me 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. Thank you. I'm back. Sorry about that. I really had to use the bathroom, so which is why I just ran off real quick there. No, that's not it. All right, next thing I want to talk about it. Where is it? Just lost track of what I was doing here. Where is it? No, these are old. Get back up here. All right, now CNN is going to talk about January 6th here. And they're going to claim that it's reckless and irresponsible for. Am I muted? Oh, no, I'm not. They're going to talk about why it's so reckless and irresponsible for the American people to see what happened on January 6th and to see the footage that was suppressed before. So I want to play this clip real quick. I actually write, why is it so irresponsible and reckless to show the American people what actually happened on January 6th? Why is the mainstream press joining the efforts of the Democrat Party to cover up this footage? That is the question that needs to be answered. Yep, it needs to be answered. Why are the media joining up with the corporate media to cover this up? So I'm going to play this, and then I'll give my further opinion afterwards.
More than 40,000 hours of Capitol security. I want to get your reaction to the fact that while this story is breaking, at the same time, the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, gave Fox exclusive access to more than 40,000 hours of Capitol security footage of the January 6th attack. And obviously that has been used on Fox to try to paint the insurrection as largely peaceful, largely unviolent, with a bunch of sightseers. Take a listen to how Republicans are responding on the Hill to how Fox portrayed this.
It's a revisionist thing that I think is unfair to the American people.
It wasn't a stroll through the Capitol. It was an attack on our Capitol.
There are going to be a bunch of politicians that are attacking Tucker Carlson. Like, how dare Kevin McCarthy allow Tucker Carlson to show the footage we suppressed about January 6th? Because the January 6th committee clearly suppressed this footage for a reason, because it goes against their narrative. it was a VIP tour. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's unbelievable to me how these people. It's like they're treating this as another 9/11. I mean, it's like, oh my God, it's so terrible. We need to arrest all these right wingers and we need to put them in prison. And because they had the nerve to talk about how to go come to us and put our lives on the line 1%. Even Alex Jones said to be careful. Yeah, I mean, everybody's like, it's unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, these are January 6th was obviously a Fed. It was a setup. It's set up from the word jump. I mean, it really. I mean, but let's keep going though with this.
It was an outrageous act. A lot of people were injured. Our building was severely damaged, and efforts to try and pretend that it was something other than that are despicable and frankly dangerous.
McCarthy had a huge hand in this. Why would he do that?
Oh, it's just so irresponsible and reckless, but it's also the most predictable outcome. So Tucker Carlson got something like 40,000 hours of footage, and he decided to air just random bits to suggest, of course, that it was peaceful, not airing the footage that shows people like my friend Officer Fanone being beaten and people saying use his weapon to kill him. But this was a deal that Kevin McCarthy had made when he was trying to get the speakership. And what I think it does is it undermines everything. In the moment that this huge lawsuit is looming, Tucker Carlson's actually leaning into conspiracy. She's not shying away from it. And I think it shows how untouchable he feels at a network that has just boosted conspiracies left and right.
Yeah. By the way, we're on day 2 of Speaker McCarthy not getting back to me on my 4 questions about whether he agrees with the conclusions on that Fox program.
Well, all right, that's that. But here's the question I have: Why don't the Democrats release the 40,000 hours of footage to the rest of the media? Why? Why not just do that? Why not just release the 40,000+ hours of footage to the rest of the media? If they really think Tucker Carlson's lying and he's full of shit and he's, cherry picking footage and he's not telling the truth, okay, fine. I'm open to that. He works for Fox. But why doesn't Hakeem Jeffries release the rest of the footage to the rest of the media so they can report on it and they could say, no, Tucker Carlson's lying. This is what's going on. And this is what actually went on. Our narrative, our version is true. Tucker Carlson's lying. Why don't they do that? Why doesn't Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic minority leader, release the footage to the rest of the media? There must be a reason for it. They're hiding it. They're hiding. They don't want that footage out there. They don't want Tucker Carlson there, that footage. In fact, I'll prove it to you. Hold on. Let's see. I should have. I'm pretty sure I bookmarked that tweet, so I should be able to find it. Where is it? Where is it? No. Let me go back. Where is that tweet? Bear with me 1 second. Oops. I'll get to this story in a minute, but I'm looking for. I don't think I bookmarked it. Damn. Bear with me 1 second. I want to show you guys what Chuck Schumer said, but I don't think I actually bookmarked it the way I thought I did. Let me know if there's any issues with the stream. I mean, either I'm echoing or you can't hear me. Because I may mute myself and forget to unmute myself. So, where is it? No, that's not it. Tucker Carlson. Here, I think this is the one. Let me show you this one. Chuck Schumer claims Tucker Carlson is siding with the enemies of democracy. Here's what I just said on the Senate floor. I don't want to go through 6 minutes. This is not it. It's like fuck that. I'm not gonna put you guys through 6 minutes of Chuck Schumer. Where is that clip? I saw it yesterday. I don't know why I didn't bookmark it. I thought I did. You know what? Let me search Chuck Schumer. Oops. Oh, here he is. This is the one. This is the one I was looking for. I'm too bright? Well, the reason why for that is because I'm sitting right in front of my window. So that's probably why I'm too bright. And the sun is like out. Hold on, let me see if I can do that. Maybe that's a little better. But yeah, that's why I'm bright, because I'm literally sitting right in front of my window and the sun is bright today. I closed the shade, so hopefully it's a little better. But this is the one I was looking for. Chuck Schumer, Rupert Murdoch has a special obligation to stop Tucker Carlson from going on tonight. This is from yesterday, and continue to report the truth about January 6th. That's not actually what he said, but this guy I think he's a right winger, so that's why. Who is this? Benny Johnson. God, Family, America Pod, the Benny Show. Yeah, so he's kind of right winger, so he put his spin on it. A senator is trying to stop a journalist from exercising First Amendment right because democracy, in quotes. Let me go from the beginning.
These lies continue tonight.
Sorry about that.
Rupert Murdoch, who has admitted they were lies and said he regretted it, has a special obligation to stop Tucker Carlson from going on tonight now that he's seen how he has perverted and slimed the truth, and from letting him go on again and again and again. Not because their views deserve such opprobrium, but because our democracy depends on it. These lies continue.
I forgot to unmute myself, and I just monologued for like a minute. Oh my god, sorry about that. What was I saying? Yeah, I know. Thank you. I unmuted myself now. I muted myself for the video so it won't echo. But oh god, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, I remember now. Chuck Schumer is anti-First Amendment. I mean, that's literally. Yeah, thank you. I muted myself and I forgot to unmute myself like an idiot. But yeah, Chuck Schumer is anti-First Amendment. He literally just told Rupert Murdoch, this is yesterday, not to take Tucker Carlson off the air because he had the nerve to show footage from January 6th that goes against the Democratic Party narrative. Imagine this were reversed. Imagine a Republican said, "Oh yeah, Rachel Maddow shouldn't go on the air because she keeps repeating RussiaGate garbage. She keeps RussiaGate's not true, and it's a hoax, and the head and Comcast should take Rachel Maddow off the air." Imagine that. How would they react? They would instantly melt down. All these fuckers. Instead, they go like, "Well, it's okay for us, but it's not okay for Republicans to do." Now, you see it's hypocrisy upon hypocrisy upon hypocrisy upon hypocrisy. It's like it drives me crazy sometimes, all the hypocrisy. Let me play. I think I missed the point I wanted to say, but let me play this real quick.
Tonight, Rupert Murdoch, who has admitted they were lies and said he regret.
Yeah, he's talking about the Dominion lawsuit. Dominion being the people who run who own the voting boxes for our elections. In that lawsuit, Rupert Murdoch lied. He admitted Fox News lied. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, Fox News is a right wing outlet. They're going to protect their right wing politicians. Why is it shocking? I don't know, but It's shocking to them. It's like, really? Of course they're going to protect their politicians. They're like MSNBC is going to go and protect Democratic politicians, or at least corporate Democrat politicians. So the idea that this is outrageous to Chuck Schumer is like mind-boggling to me. Here's some more Chuck Schumer tweet. Breaking! In a fiery speech in the Senate floor, Majority Leader Chuck Schumer accuses Kevin McCarthy of being every bit as culpable as Tucker Carlson and Rupert Murdoch for manipulating Fox News viewers and siding with violent insurrectionists. I actually should do this so you guys actually see the tweet. Manipulating Fox News viewers into siding with violent insurrectionists. RT is where you with Chuck. Yeah, fuck you. I'm not with Chuck. Wait got a question. The Murdoch who killed his family is related to the Murdochs in Australia. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think a Murdoch, murders his family is related to the Rupert Murdoch's family in Australia. Maybe not. It has to be more than one family named Murdoch and last name Murdoch. Charles Schwab went under? That's new. I'll probably cover that because I'll probably cover that tomorrow then. Because here's the thing. Here's what I want to do. I'm not going to stream every day, but I do want to stream at least 3 to 4 days a week. So around this time, around 2 o'clock, 2 to 4 o'clock around there, I want to start streaming more often because it's actually easier this way than to make 3 or 4 separate videos a day on my channel and then upload them. So that's kind of my plan, to start streaming more often and then take the clips from my stream and upload them separately to my YouTube channel and to INN's YouTube channel. So that's the idea that I have. So that's probably how I'm going to do it from now on. Oh, by the way, if you just got to the stream, thank you very much. Can you please give me a like? Please like the stream wherever you're at so that I can get more likes. It helped me with the algorithm. Thank you in advance for liking. Yeah, I already did that. I think this is the actual speech on the Senate floor, which I just read, but
Thousands of hours of security footage.
Oops, sorry about that.
We're here in the Capitol, and millions of Americans are just furious with Tucker Carlson and Kevin.
Wait. No one's furious, Chuck. We want this footage out there. Trust me. We want to know what actually happened on January 6th. We're not furious. Ecstatic that this footage is out there. We get a clearer picture of what the truth actually happened on January 6th.
McCarthy today, and he's going to come back tonight with another segment. Fox News should tell him not to. Fox News, Rupert Murdoch, tell Carlson not to run a second segment of lies. You know it's a lie. You've admitted it's a lie. And Speaker McCarthy is every bit as culpable as Mr. Carlson. Speaker McCarthy's decision to share security footage with Fox looked like a mistake from the very beginning. But after last night, it looks like a disaster. Speaker McCarthy has played a treacherous game by catering to the hard right. He's enabled the big lie and has further...
Kevin McCarthy betrayed America by giving all this footage to Tucker Carlson, guys. Can you believe that? How dare Kevin McCarthy betray America by giving the 40,000 plus hours of footage to Tucker Carlson of Fox News so he can report on it? How dare he? According to Chuck Schumer. That's according to Chuck Schumer, at least. As far as I'm concerned, I'm fine with it. But I would be even more fine with it if the Democrats actually gave the tapes to the rest of the media. I don't know what they're waiting for. If Tucker Carlson is such a bullshitter and a piece of shit, why don't they give him the rest of the footage? Let MSNBC, let CNN, let NBC, let CBS, let all the legacy media, let the Young Turks, I don't give a shit, let them give them the footage so they can go through it. Even though we all know the Young Turks are lazy and they won't go through the footage, but the rest of the media, let them go through the rest of the footage. If Tucker Carlson's lying, let us know. So we're not, but I don't think he's lying. That's the thing. I think he's telling the truth, which is why they're attacking Tucker Carlson and Fox News, and they're mad at him for daring to air the footage. I hate sour candy personally. I mean, I don't want, but let me let Chuck Schumer keep going here, and then I'm going to cover probably one more thing I want to talk about, and then I'm going to wrap up the stream for today.
Eroded away at our precious democracy. Last night, millions of Americans tuned in to one of the most shameful hours we have ever seen on cable television. With contempt for the facts, disregard of the risks, and knowing full well he was lying to his audience, Fox News host Tucker Carlson ran a lengthy segment last night arguing the January 6th Capitol attack was not a violent insurrection. By diving deep into the waters of conspiracy and cherry-picking from thousands of hours of security footage, Mr. Carlson told the bold-faced lie that the Capitol attack, which we all saw with our own eyes, was somehow not an attack at all. He tried to argue it was nothing more than a peaceful sightseeing tour. Can you imagine? I urge Fox News to order Carlson to cease propagating the big lie on his network and to level with their viewers about the truth behind the efforts to mislead the public. Conduct like theirs is just asking.
Yeah, as Chuck Schumer openly asking Rupert Murdoch and News Corp to openly ask him to not take Tucker Carlson off the air, and to make sure they open violation of First Amendment. Like, oh yeah, take him off the air. He's reporting on facts and the truth. Take him off the air. How dare he? You know, I mean, let's ignore the First Amendment of the Constitution about not airing shit. Let's not air the truth. American people want propaganda. They don't want the truth about happening January 6th. All right, I'm done with Chuck Schumer anyway. So I'm gonna cover one more story for you guys today, and then I'll be done. Because I have to go actually cook pretty soon, cook dinner. So let's go back to my bookmarks here. Bear with me 1 second. I gotta find the story first. Here we go. This is the last story I'm gonna cover today. It's about a New York Times article. It says breaking news: the Pentagon is blocking U.S. from sharing evidence on Russian atrocities in Ukraine with the International Criminal Court. Officials said military leaders fear setting a precedent that might pave the way for it to prosecute Americans. That's an interesting admission. And I respond, interesting. If the Pentagon really had evidence that Russians are committing war crimes in Ukraine, then why won't they share the evidence? I give my thoughts tomorrow on the stream. I was going to do it this morning, but I didn't. That's why it says I'll give my thoughts tomorrow morning during the live stream that I'm planning. That's this live stream. What the Pentagon seems to be worried about is that if they refer their evidence to the International Criminal Court about how Russians are committing war crimes in Ukraine, they're afraid that the Russians would try to give evidence, if they have any, about American war crimes. Excuse me. And they don't want Americans being prosecuted. That's what this is about. Let me feature. I want to for all the lies and omission by Fox. This is what Schumer wants to attack them for. Such a bunch of bullshit. Yeah. I mean, Fox News. I'm not saying Fox News is good. I want to be clear about that. I'm not saying Fox News is this, benevolent news organization that just wants to tell the truth. Of course not. They're liars and right-wing propagandists. But at the same time, Tucker Carlson's doing January 6th is showing the footage. That's all he's doing there. Just showing footage, and he's just showing the footage and giving his opinion on it. And everyone is melting down over it. In Washington and the establishment media and the Young Turks, they're all melting down over it. Why not? They should want to see the footage themselves and counter Tucker Carlson, but they don't. That's why I'm assuming Tucker Carlson be telling the truth, because why don't the rest of the media ask for the footage? Because they can get the footage. Hakeem Jeffries can hand over the footage just like Kevin McCarthy did. Hakeem Jeffries has the authority, just like Kevin McCarthy does, to hand over all this footage to the rest of the media, and he won't. Now think why would that be? Now let's go back to, I want to read this New York Times article. See whether I can read it, because sometimes it's blocked behind the paywall. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm just going to go through some of it. Let me get rid of that. Pentagon, I don't want to pay for New York Times. Pentagon blocks sharing evidence of possible Russian war crimes with the Hague court. President Biden has not acted to resolve the dispute that pits the Defense Department against other agencies. The Pentagon is blocking the Biden administration. And let me make this bigger, just in case you guys can't see it. All right. The Pentagon is blocking the Biden administration from sharing evidence with the International Criminal Court in The Hague, gathered by American intelligence agencies about Russian atrocities in Ukraine, according to the current and former officials briefed on the matter. By the way, who are the Pentagon to block the administration from doing anything? It is the military. Since when the military can block the president from doing anything? And I love that admission in the first paragraph, in the first sentence from the New York Times article. Like, I just noticed that. I actually read, I didn't, hold on, I think I fucked up. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, it's the first the first sentence. Like the first paragraph, the Pentagon is blocking the Biden administration from sharing evidence with the International Criminal Court in The Hague, gathered by American intelligence agencies about Russian atrocities in Ukraine, according to current and former officials briefed on the matter. Who are the Pentagon to block anything? And to block the president from doing anything? I mean, that right there, you could tell that the president is nothing but a puppet towards the military, for the military in the deep state. It's like, let's say I'm president. I mean, let's just suppose that I'm president for a second, and the Pentagon tells me, "Oh yeah, by the way, you can't release this evidence that we have against the Russians for war crimes in Ukraine." They're like, "What? Yeah, go fuck yourself. I'm the president. I mean, I tell you what to do, not the other way around." But no. The Biden administration being blocked by the Pentagon. Okay, the Pentagon blocked us, but there's nothing we could do. We can't release this supposed evidence that we have against the Russians about war crimes in Ukraine they committed in Ukraine. I'm like, yeah, go fuck yourself. I'm releasing this evidence if it's true. So let's go back to the article. I want to read a little bit more. American military leaders oppose helping the court investigate the Russians because they fear setting a precedent that might help pave the way to prosecute Americans. That's it. That's the reason why. This right here is the real reason why. This is the real reason why they don't want to prosecute the Russians for alleged war crimes, because they're afraid to set a precedent that might prosecute American military intelligence officials for their war crimes. That's what this is about. But it's not like they want to protect the Russians. No, they want to protect the elite Americans that commit war crimes themselves. The rest of the administration, including the intelligence agencies and state and justice departments, favor giving the evidence to the court, the official says. President Biden has yet to resolve the impasse, officials say. oh wow, the president hasn't done anything to resolve the issue. Isn't that shocking? The president's sitting on his ass or confused about what's going on. Like, well, what's going on? Well, give me a break, man. Give me a break. I'm just the president. I'm not actually powerful like the military is. That's Biden's attitude. I guarantee there's no way that they're ever going to release this evidence. Excuse me. The evidence is said to include details relevant to an investigation the chief prosecutor in an international criminal court, Karim Khan, began after Russia invasion Ukraine over a year ago. The information reportedly includes material about decisions by Russian officials to deliberately target civilian infrastructure and to abduct thousands of Ukrainian children from occupied territory. This is the evidence that they allegedly have, the Americans at least allegedly have, about the Russians. Here's the thing. We've intentionally targeted civilian infrastructure in Syria. That was clear. When Obama was president, they targeted hospitals, and they targeted schools, and they targeted first responders. I mean, they openly targeted, the Obama administration targeted these people in Syria. Now they're worried, oh my God, if we reveal Russian war crimes, they will be prosecuted in The Hague too, as they should be, because they bombed Syria hospitals and schools and first responders and et cetera. But that's why they won't release the evidence for the International Criminal Court to prosecute Russians, because we've done it too. And they want to protect Americans. But you think they give a shit about protecting Russians? They want to protect themselves. All right, let's keep going here. In December, Congress modified longstanding legal restrictions on Americans' help to the court, allowing the United States to assist with its investigations and eventual prosecutions related to war crimes in Ukraine. Excuse me. But inside the Biden administration, a policy dispute on whether to do so continues to play out behind closed doors. The National Security Council convened the Cabinet-level Principals Committee on February 3rd, in an attempt to resolve the dispute, the officials said. But Secretary of Defense Lloyd J. Austin III continued to object. Mr. Biden has not yet made a decision, the officials say. Oh my God. What is the president waiting for? Make a decision. You're the president, dude. This is why you were elected. But this is why you were elected president. To make a decision. Side with your Pentagon or side with the rest of the administration wants to release his documents to The Hague. No, I mean, the president is a puppet for the military. We all know that. I don't think this alleged evidence ever will be released. That's my opinion. Tell me what you guys think in the chat. What a day. What a day. My very first stream. Yeah, I'm pretty much done. It's been an hour and a half. Streaming is kind of difficult. I'm kind of tired. I'm pretty tired. It's been only an hour and a half. I know people who stream for 2 or 3 hours at a time, but I'm kind of tired. My first episode, the Handsome Cynic Live, is kind of like a placeholder title until I figure out what to call the stream, because maybe you guys come up with interesting ideas for a title of the show name, but that's the best I can come up with. The Handsome Cynic Live. I'm kind of lazy, so that's the name I came up with. So I want to thank you guys for joining me. Please like the stream. Tell me what you think. Also, follow me on Twitter. Again, I show my Twitter handle, but it's time for me to do another shameless plug. There's my Twitter handles right there. And make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, which I'm streaming from right now. But, those links will be in the description after the video plays. Well, you know what? Let me link it now in the chat so you guys can, if you haven't subscribed, you can. If you haven't subscribed, you can do it already. Let me link. This is my YouTube channel, so let me put it in the chat here. Oops, hold on a second. So that's my this is my YouTube channel here. YouTube.com/TheHamptonCynic. Make sure you subscribe. Let me link my Twitch. Oops. Idiot. Let me actually try to, because I'm also streaming from my Twitch page too. There should be at least. Bear with me 1 second while I log in. So tell me what you think about my first stream. I mean, I want to improve, I want to get, oh my God, this is annoying. The double authentication on Twitch is just so annoying. That's why I hate logging out of it. I know it's to protect my Twitch and make sure that it's not hacked, but still, it's like super annoying. It's very, very goddamn annoying to have to go to my email and to. This is my Twitch. This is the same thing. Also, subscribe to my Rumble page. I have to go to my Rumble website. I mean, oops. Let me. Oh, God. Subscribe to my Rumble page. I have. Try to get me to 100 subscribers as soon as possible on Rumble, because in order for me to stream on Rumble, I need 100 subscribers. So that's my Rumble. Give me a like on this stream or wherever you're at. Make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe to my channels. I mean, they're all there on the chat. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll probably be back with episode 2 tomorrow, where I'm going to give you 3 or 4 more stories where I'm going to discuss around the same time, 2 o'clock Eastern. I want to thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed my first stream. Share this video out. I'm probably uploading clips throughout the coming days, so look out for that too. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, most likely at 2 o'clock Eastern. And if you're on the West Coast or whatever, it's 3 hours behind. And if you're on Central Time, is 1 hour behind. If you're on Rocky Mountain Time, is 2 hours behind. You're able to figure it out. So I want to thank you guys for joining me. Anti-Semitic Live episode 1 is over as of now. I'll see you guys most likely tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I'll make an announcement on Twitter tonight or something to confirm. So thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll bid you adieu.